Today we're playing the Pauper stock up. Pieces of the puzzle in high tide combo. Let's go check it out. Today we're playing the Pauper stock up. Pieces of the puzzle. For 2 and a blue, 3 mana total, you have a sorcery where you look at the top 5, put up to 2 instants or sorceries from those cards to your hand, the rest go to the graveyard. This card is extremely powerful in our deck that's just chock full of instants and sorceries, so you can imagine why it's the perfect inclusion in Pauper High Tide. So when you looked at my last video, which you can find in the card above, I played Reach Through Mists, Muddled the Mixture, and other really fun cards. I did reasonably well, but today we're playing a slightly different list with an innovation from Kelly Kai's of playing Hidden Strings to untap our lands after we've played a few copies of High Tide. Additionally, you could target your opponent's lands with Hidden Strings and then tap them out of counter magic. So it's an interesting inclusion. But my list is a little bit different today. So I choose to play Flood of Recollection. That is because it gets back things like Ideas Unbound in the middle of your combo, but also it allows you to only play 1 copy of Stream of Thought. I've tried playing lists that have 2 copies of Stream of Thought, and then I just draw them way too often. The idea with playing 2 is that you could recycle your arcane spells over and over again, but if you watched my last video, you would see that you don't really need to do that, and it's a little bit win more. So today, we're playing Flood of Recollection alongside Pieces of the Puzzle and Hidden Strings, so that way we're really consistent in the middle of our combo. By cutting Reach Through Mist, we're raising the floor of our deck, because Reach Through Mist, 1 blue draw card, is actually really bad. So instead of that, we have this wonderful setup card with Pieces of the Puzzle that digs for not only High Tide, but Psychic Puppetry as well in the setup phase of the game. So that's a reason to play this card. Hidden Strings allows you to combo even faster. So on your turn 3, you can go High Tide, Hidden Strings, and now you have 6 available mana. And then you could play Pieces of the Puzzle into Ideas Unbound plus Psychic Puppetry or something like that. And it just means that you're able to combo even faster while being even more consistent. So I really like the idea behind this deck list today. And I'm just really excited to showcase it for you because I've loved Pieces of the Puzzle since 2017 when this card debuted in Gift Storm. So I'm just excited to play a card that I've been a big fan of for a long time. A question that comes up a lot in my videos is, Bryant, why aren't you playing Brainstorm? And I think in order to grasp that, you have to have a strong understanding of what our deck does. So you have to play 2 copies of High Tide and then splice Psychic Puppetry onto an arcane spell like Ideas Unbound or Peer Through Depths. Okay? So there's a lot of moving pieces. In order to find those moving pieces, I want cantrips like Ponder and Preordain that dig for double High Tide or the Psychic Puppetry. When you play Brainstorm, you're playing a card that's really good in the middle of your combo turn. Because when you play Ideas Unbound and you draw 2 islands, for example, you're able to Brainstorm back those 2 islands and maybe play Peer Through Depths and put those islands on the bottom of your deck. That is a good case for a scenario, or a good case for a Brainstorm scenario. But when it's turn 2 and you're looking for High Tide or Psychic Puppetry and you play Brainstorm, and let's say you draw 2 lands in a Stream of Thought or 2 lands in a Ponder, I don't know, Ponder's not a good example, but 2 lands in a Hidden Strings, okay? What now? Because your deck only plays Lorien Revealed and Merchant Scroll and Peer Through Depths and Shuffle effects. I guess you could Stream of Thought yourself if you have it as a 1-of, but you end up Brainstorm locking yourself a lot. Brainstorm is a card you would like to play in the middle of the combo turn. Why do we need more cards that are good in the middle of our combo turn? We have Lorien Revealed, Deep Analysis, Pieces of the Puzzle, Ideas Unbound, Flood of Recollection, Peer Through Depths. Why do you need more things that are good on the combo turn? What you need is setup cards. And Ponder digs 4 cards deep looking for High Tide or Psychic Puppetry. Preordain digs 3 cards deep. So there's no reason to play Brainstorm. And people just keep on commenting why don't you play Brainstorm? Why don't you play Brainstorm? It's not because I don't know Brainstorm doesn't exist, and it's not because I think Brainstorm's bad. In fact, it's probably the best card in Legacy. It's just it doesn't make sense here in Pauper where you don't have untapped fetch lands. If we had Flooded Strand and Polluted Delta, I'd be playing Brainstorm, but we don't. So all of those shuffle effects come at a cost of 1 mana or 2 mana with Merchant Scroll, and I don't think that that's worth playing. So I am optimizing my deck to do what it does. I want to quickly find High Tide and Psychic Puppetry, and then in the middle of my combo turn, use Flood of Recollection, Pieces of the Puzzle, and everything else to create card advantage where I don't really care about putting 2 islands back on top of my deck. So hopefully you enjoyed that little bit of a rant there, but I think that Brainstorm just doesn't belong here. Another card I'm not playing today is a main deck copy of Giga Draws. Yes, you can find it with Merchant Scroll, but when you have Hidden Strings, you have a built-in way to tap your opponent's lands that aren't it's not dead against non-blue. Because Giga Draws isn't really good against non-blue. Yeah, you might be able to tap their creature or something, but it's not really something you want to draw in the middle of a combo turn. And that's sort of the problem, is when you're comboing, you draw a card like Giga Draws, you're like, oh great, I just drew another blank card. No blank cards in my main deck. I am playing 2 copies of Giga Draws in the sideboard, which is where I believe the card belongs for those pesky blue matchups. Same thing with Dispel. Similarly, I'm not playing Hydroblast because Dispel also counters Pyroblast. And I get that you could Hydroblast a creature to buy time, but I'd rather have sideboard slots available for things like Envelop versus Gruul Panza, for example, or a Snap for Gruul Ramp, or Walls, or some other large creature deck, and that allows me more flexibility in my sideboard. That's what I'm going for here today. So hopefully you appreciate my deck tech. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what you think of my madman rants about Brainstorm, and thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. But without any further ado, let's hop on in and play match number 1. I will see you there. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop, or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1. We are on the play with Pauper High Tide combo. What a hand. I will keep. And this is sort of another great example for why you'd like to play Ponder. So we're able to play Ponder on turn 1 here, looking for that High Tide or Psychic Puppetry. And if you play Brainstorm, you're probably not main phasing it on turn 1. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So this is land number 2 and 3 that we need. I think I'm going to keep this. I should say 3 and 4, but it's fine. They play an island. So we're about to draw land number 4. And I will play the Merchant Scroll. Spell Pierce. Okay. So that means that we will, in fact, draw the Lorien Revealed. They missed their land drop. That's what you get. Okay. Pieces of the Puzzle. I have no idea what this is. Okay. Sure, it's the same thing as the other creature that Mono Blue plays. We find both High Tide and Psychic Puppetry. Let's go. Let's go. Pieces of the Puzzle looking so good in match number 1 already. They found land number 2. And now they swing. Ouch. Another land. Let's play Ponder. I'm a little bit worried about Spellstutter Sprite here, but I like to advance my game plan. Another Ponder, which isn't... This would be a terrible spot to Brainstorm, in my opinion, because I think I want this Lorien Revealed as my payoff spell, so I'm not really interested in, like, shuffling my deck and just praying to draw action. So the question is, do I keep this? And I think the answer might be yes, because that allows 1 High Tide to be countered, and then for me to keep on winning. They flash in the Spellstutter Sprite. Should have gone after my Ponder. And now they swing for 2. They play Of One Mind and land number 3. Another Ponder. We'll play land number 5. Let's play the Ponder. Preordain. Lorien Revealed in the Psychic Puppetry. I think I'll keep the Preordain. Play Preordain. Get rid of the Psychic Puppetry. Question is, do I want the Lorien Revealed? I think no is the answer. Land number 6. Okay. Another copy of One Mind. It looks like maybe they didn't hit their land, or they just want to play it post-combat. They did not find their land. Oh, we certainly are finding ours, I'll say that. Okay. Play the island, pass the turn. Bit flooded here in our 15 land deck. And now they attack for 2. Ouch. Moon Circuit Hacker. Interesting that they didn't put Spellstutter Spray back to their hand. They have the land, okay. Pieces of the Puzzle. What to do, what to do. I think I'll attempt a high tide and see if that resolves. It does resolve. Let's try another high tide. Okay. Pieces of the puzzle. Floating 1 mana. That resolves, okay. We find double Ideas Unbound. So we'll keep those. I did get rid of the Stream of Thought here, but I can always get that back later with Flood of Recollection. We'll play our island. Let's play another high tide. So they have a ton of mana now because they have 3 untapped islands. We'll attempt a Ideas Unbound, untapping our island. They flash in another copy of Spellstutter Sprite. Okay. We'll play Ideas Unbound, untapping island. They have Snap. That's annoying. So now they can Spellstutter Sprite again. Yep. We'll play the Lorien Revealed. I think they got me here. We ended up not drawing what we wanted. I will try to Peer Through Depths. Floating 2 mana. 4 spike, I'll pay. I'll pay for a 4 spike. They flash in a creature, sure. And it resolves. Interesting. So we find another Peer Through Depths. I'll take that. We untap 1 land. Tap it for 4. We'll play another Peer Through Depths here. That resolves. Ideas Unbound. I could take Pieces of the Puzzle, but I'm a little tight on mana at the moment, so I don't think I want to do that. We'll play Ideas Unbound. Flood of Recollection is good here. So play the Flood of Recollection, get back Ideas Unbound. And now we'll Psychic Puppetry. 2 lands and a Lorien Revealed. That was not particularly good. Let's play Preordain. Hidden Strings is wonderful here. So we'll play the Hidden Strings, untap and untap. And now we can Lorien Revealed to draw 3. We know that our top card is Merchant Scroll. And now we had Ideas Unbound and another copy of Psychic Puppetry. Am I really going to be able to pull this off? I thought for sure I had lost. Another Hidden Strings, let's go. 15 cards left. Let's play Merchant Scroll. Grab another High Tide. Let's play the High Tide. And let's Preordain. Keep both of these. Psychic Puppetry is certainly welcome. Now I'll play Ponder. So I have double Psychic Puppetry. I have triple Psychic Puppetry. Actually, I think I'll shuffle this. We drew the Merchant Scroll anyway. Let's play Hidden Strings, untap and untap. And then I'll play Pieces of the Puzzle. 12 cards left in deck. We'll take Flood of Recollection and Pieces of the Puzzle. So now I can play Pieces of the Puzzle. I do have to Flood of Recollection back the, whatever it's called, Stream of Thought. We'll take Psychic Puppetry and, maybe the Peer Through Depths is better. I definitely want the Hidden Strings. Peer Through Depths might be better than another Puppetry. I guess it's not. Puppetry makes more mana. Okay. And then I can just hardcast the Deep Analysis if I want to. So we'll Hidden Strings, untap, untap. We'll play the Flood of Recollection, getting back the Stream of Thought. So the third Flood of Recollection is in my graveyard. So I don't think I know what the last 2 things are. So we'll splice some Psychic Puppetries here to make mana. And this is sort of why I don't think you need the second Stream of Thought, is when you splice a bunch of Psychic Puppetries like this, you'll make all the mana you need. Alright, so we just lost 1 Psychic Puppetry, but we made 20 plus mana. Okay, and now we'll make some more mana. We're up to 39 mana. Psychic Puppetry again. 36 mana, we'll tap again. 46 mana, Psychic Puppetry to untap. Tap it again. And now we can Stream of Thought. So they have 42 cards in their deck. So we would like to replicate 10 times. Here we go. Crazy game. I'm trying to just go through this as quickly as possible now. 15 minutes on clock. So this game took about 10 minutes. And now I will play Deep Analysis targeting them. And that's the game. So now we won the tough game. It gets easier after sideboard when you have Dispel and Giga Drowse. And then I think you're supposed to sideboard out your Preordains. That's my personal opinion. And probably the Deep Analysis. Like, Deep Analysis is nice, but a deck like Fairies can't kill you in their upkeep. So you don't actually need it. This seems fine. They play an island and Fairies here. We'll play Ponder, digging for High Tide or Psychic Puppetry. We find a Psychic Puppetry. We'll keep this. In my upkeep, I'll shuffle with the Lorien revealed because we don't really want the top 2 cards. And now they attack for 1. Ouch. Ooh, you have a ninja. Okay, Moon Circuit Hacker. No second land again. We'll cycle the Lorien revealed. That said, Moon Circuit Hacker is going to dig them for that second land. We'll pass. They found the land this turn. Fairy Seer's back. And a Fairy Miscreant. So this might be a nice turn cycle to play pieces of the puzzle, digging for our missing combo pieces. Land number 4. We'll play the pieces of the puzzle. No High Tide. We did find a Hidden Strings and another pieces of the puzzle. Okay, I'll get rid of the Flood of Recollection and we'll pass. So that's 2 Flood of Recollection down. So we have 1 left and then the Stream of Thought. Another Fairy Seer. And now they swing. We'll take 4 down to 12. They get rid of a Relic of Progenitus and they play a Relic. Okay. Land number 5. Interesting. I think I'm going to just peer through depths right now. I don't want to pieces of the puzzle again and lose cardboard. We did not find High Tide again. We'll take another peer through depths. Actually, I'll take the Merchant Scroll. What am I talking about? And I think I'm going to jam it right into Force Spike and just hope they don't have it. And they don't. We'll grab High Tide. Pass the turn. End step, they use the Relic. They find land number 4. They play a Fairy Miscreant, so this will draw them a card. And now they swing. Knocks me down to 7. They have 6 damage on board, so I might be forced to try to win. They snap something. The Fairy Miscreant. Okay. Blood of Recollection. I'll play my island. Let's play High Tide. That resolves. Let's play Flood of Recollection on High Tide. So now I just have 1 Stream of Thought to win with. We'll play the High Tide. Okay. And now I will Hidden Strings. Actually, should I... This is interesting. Because I could just tap both their islands, and then they have nothing. Unless they have double counterspell. Interesting position to be in. I'll tap their islands. Let's see what they do. I have 2 mana floating. They counterspell. I'll dispel your counterspell. And they just conceded. They had triple island in their hand, apparently. I wasn't even deterministic to win here. And it's not going to let me draw my next cards. But this is sort of the power of Hidden Strings. We never had Gigatrows, but Hidden Strings was able to tap their land. So here in match number 1, you got to see a little bit of pieces of the puzzle and Hidden Strings doing work. So far, it seems better than Reach Through Mist. Let me know what you think and stick around for match number 2. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. It's time for match number 2. I'm on the draw. We will keep. My hand could use a High Tide and maybe a 3rd land, but other than that, this hand is quite good. There's this Tower into Candy Trail, so this might be the Ultratron deck. Another Ideas Unbound. Will play our land and pass. If it is Ultratron, it should be a pretty good matchup for me. And this looks like Ultratron. Prophetic Prism, sure. Land number 3 is perfect. So at this point, we just need a High Tide or 2 in order to win the game. They're going to draw a card using the Candy Trail. They find another Urza's Tower and a Chromatic Star. Peer Through Depths. So Peer Through Depths actually digs just as deep in order to find High Tide. So I'm going to pass, and then in their upkeep, we'll try tapping one of their lands. Splice the Psychic Puppetry. We'll tap an Urza's Tower. They're going to Fanatical Offering, sacrificing the Chromatic Star. Peer Through Depths. We find High Tide. Beautiful. Okay, so now I need land number 4 and another High Tide. We could try going off with just 1 High Tide, but I feel like it's sort of a risk for no reason. They play Urza's Mine, so now they're 1 piece away from having Tron. Ichor Wellspring, sure. Let's play the Ponder. This is our 4th land and the High Tide. So I'll play my land. So if I go... I just want to think through this. I can go High Tide, Hidden Strings. Yeah, this should win. We'll play High Tide, Hidden Strings to untap 2 islands. Hidden String's looking very good here. And now I can Ideas Unbound with splicing the Psychic Puppetry. Untap one island. And now we'll tap Merchant Scroll for High Tide. Go grab the High Tide, cast it, and now this island taps for 3. And now I can Ideas Unbound splicing the Psychic Puppetry. We find another Psychic Puppetry, that's good. So now we'll tap for 3 Hidden Strings, untapping 2 lands, floating 1. And now I can Flood of Recollection to get back the Ideas Unbound. Tap, and now I can play Psychic Puppetry splicing twice. This is a sweet win. We draw another Hidden Strings. Will Merchant Scroll go grab another High Tide? I'm pretty sure we have it from here. We'll play Preordain. Put both of these islands on the bottom. We draw another. We'll play Hidden Strings again. And now we can play Pieces of the Puzzle, digging for some arcane spells. We find Stream of Thought and Ideas Unbound. So I'll take the Stream of Thought. It's not particularly good here, but it does allow me to use my Flood of Recollections later. So I'll use Ideas Unbound, splice the Psychic Puppetry. It's either that or take a Lorien Reveal that I probably don't want to actually cast anyway. We'll play Preordain, put the island on the bottom. We'll take Ideas Unbound. So we know that the bottom of our deck is 3 basics, so we don't really want to shuffle our deck unless we have to. There's another Flood of Recollection. Let's play Ponder, keep this, another piece of the puzzle, move my puppetries a little closer together. Let's play Peer Through Depths, we'll splice, take the Psychic Puppetry. So now there's, I guess I'll stack them like this, but we know that there's 5 lands on the bottom of my deck right now. Okay. I suppose I will Pieces of the Puzzle. 21 cards in deck. Take the High Tide. Oh, this was all gas. Okay, they've seen enough. Yeah, like there's no chance we fizzle from there. Am I even supposed to sideboard here? I don't think so. I'm going to just resubmit. And this is sort of what I mean by you don't need Brainstorm. Like once your engine gets going, you don't need to put back 2 islands. Meanwhile, Ponder does dig for High Tide or Psychic Puppetry or whatever. Also, this might just be me. I'm a Stream of Thought hater. I understand you need a card in order to win the game. That said, I hate playing 2. I tried a league with 2, and I just did not like it. Not even a little bit. Like, I just felt like I drew them non-stop, and I was like, these don't do anything. And unless you're winning the game, exactly, like, unless you're willing to put it on the stack and replicate, it does next to nothing. And I know that you can use them to cycle arcane spells in your library over and over again, but that's so win more, like especially compared to Flood of Recollection, where you can get back an Ideas Unbound or Hidden Strings or Pieces of the Puzzle or something useful. So I'd rather play 1 dead card in my deck and then a card with more flexibility like Flood of Recollection. Game number 2, we've opened up a hand with no lands. Don't love that. We'll take a mulligan. So I think here we're supposed to bottom Stream of Thought, and then this hand, while being triple Merchant Scroll, does represent double High Tide Psychic Puppetry, so you would just have to draw into lands. They play an Urza's Power Plant and Expedition map, so they're going to have Tron online pretty quickly. We did draw a land. I think I'm supposed to bottom both of these, because the next few turns I'm going to be casting my spells, looking for the other pieces, so I don't think I'm supposed to keep that. And Hidden Strings is a fine draw, despite it not being a land. Alright, so they will have turn 3 Tron this game. Whoops. Play the island. Let's go. Magic Online lagging a little bit there. Merchant Scroll. So they have a much better start while being on the play. We'll grab a High Tide. I really need to find a land next turn. So if I don't draw one, I might preordain looking for the land, because if I miss my land drop, we're probably not winning. There's the Ashnod's Altar, Mirror Retriever. So they need another Mirror Retriever and then a way to kill me. I did not find the land. I'm going to play Preordain. Okay, so there's a Psychic Puppetry. So am I supposed to wait here? I think so. We'll take the land. Because next turn I think I have a win. Prophetic Prism. Okay. So they need like a Pactile Terror and another Mirror Retriever here. And now they attack for 1, sure. You got it. Eviscerator's Insight, so now they'll draw and return the Expedition map. I don't think they can kill me here. They play a Conduit Pylons as their land for the turn so they can surveil 1. They kept the card on top. Alright, so while they're taking their turn, let's think here. So on my turn, I can start the turn with High Tide, play Hidden Strings to untap. So we'd be in the same spot, but all of our lands tap for 2. And then I can go Merchant Scroll for another High Tide, play the High Tide floating 1, and then I have Peer Through Depths plus Spliced Psychic Puppetry. That makes sense to me. High Tide. Hidden Strings. Yeah, Hidden Strings so far seemed quite good. Shout out to Kaylee Kais for figuring this out. Definitely seems better than Reach Through Mists. We'll grab the High Tide, play High Tide, and now we can Peer Through Depths, Splicing Psychic Puppetry, floating 1. Take the Ideas Unbound. And now we'll play the Ideas Unbound, Splicing Psychic Puppetry, floating 1. That was really good. Okay. So I would like another Psychic Puppetry so I can really get moving. But I'm a little choked on mana at the moment. So what I could do is I could Flood of Recollection, back the Hidden Strings, and then that gives me 6 mana. And then I can Merchant Scroll for another High Tide. So we'll play Merchant Scroll. Grab another High Tide. We'll play it. Now all of my islands tap for 4. And now every time I splice, I'm +1 mana. Take the other Psychic Puppetry. And now I can Peer Through Depths and double splice, making even more mana. Take another Peer Through Depths. And now we'll play the Peer Through Depths, splicing both copies of Psychic Puppetry. Take Flood of Recollection. Okay. And now we'll tap. I'll play the Flood of Recollection, get back Ideas Unbound. And play the Ideas Unbound, splice the Puppetries. I still haven't played a land for the turn, by the way. We'll play Pieces of the Puzzle. We grab another Psychic Puppetry and a Preordain, getting rid of 3 lands. That's nice to see. Let's play another Pieces of the Puzzle. Pieces of the Puzzle, and then we'll take the Stream of Thought. Okay. Let's play Ponder, looking for an Arcane spell. Beautiful. Alright, I'll put the Luring Reveal all the way at the end. Same thing with the Stream of Thought. We're just not going to cast them for a while. And now we'll triple splice Psychic Puppetry. And I finally drew my 4th land. So we'll play the 4th land. And now we'll play another copy of Ideas Unbound. And we found the 4th copy of Psychic Puppetry. 18 cards left in our deck. We'll play Pieces of the Puzzle. So we've seen every card at this point that Pieces could hit. So we'll take Pieces and Ponder. And our opponent concedes the match. Beautiful. We're 2-0, and this seems so easy. Match number 3 coming right up. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Token Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $14.99. This combo token pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens. That includes our classic Storm and mana tokens, as well as fan favorites such as Goblins, Squirrels, and Slime Time Live. But that's not all. We've expanded this token pack to cover a variety of formats with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Alright, time for the 3rd match. We're on the draw, and I will keep. No idea what our opponent's playing. Let's party. Mountain. Okay. We find land number 3. Let's play Preordain. Hidden Strings and Ideas Unbound. I would like to keep these. It's just they're not High Tide or Psychic Puppetry, so they'll go on the bottom. Merchant Scroll is one of those things. No burn spell on the end step. Synthesizer reveals Lightning Bolt. Okay, so they're playing burn. I'll eat a Lightning Bolt. I go to 17. Land number 4. Let's play the Merchant Scroll, and I'll go grab a High Tide. Pass the turn. They play land number 3. And they use the Synthesizer. What do they keep here? Clockwork Percussionist? Like, this was not a keepable hand, in my opinion. We draw land number 5 in our 15-land deck. Oh my. Let's play Peer Through Depths. We find the Psychic Puppetry, so now all I need to find is another High Tide. We'll play Ponder. Flood of Recollection is actually another High Tide here. So I think we keep this. Flood of Recollection, so good. Aren't we glad that this is not a Stream of Thought? They play Voldaren Epicure. And now they swing for 2. I'll go to 14. Play my land. So if I play High Tide, Flood of Recollection, High Tide, I'd have 1 mana floating. Works for me. Play the High Tide. Flood of Recollection. Get back the High Tide. And now we'll play High Tide. And now we'll play Peer Through Depths, splicing a Psychic Puppetry. We'll have one floating. We'll take another Peer Through Depths. And now we'll play the Peer Through Depths, splicing the Psychic Puppetry. We'll take Ideas Unbound. Okay, and now we'll draw 3 and splice. Here we go. Another Psychic Puppetry. I believe that this game is over. So now we'll Ideas Unbound, splice Psychic Puppetry, splice Psychic Puppetry. And now we're making mana on each one. We'll play a we'll Merchant Scroll for another High Tide here. Play the High Tide. Now Islands tap for 5. We'll play Peer Through Depths, splice 2 copies of Psychic Puppetry. What do I even want? I think it's Pieces of the Puzzle. Play Flood of Recollection. Let's get back Ideas Unbound. And now we will splice again. Too easy. Let's play a Pieces of the Puzzle. We'll take Ideas Unbound and Merchant Scroll. Play the Merchant Scroll. This allows us to go grab another copy of High Tide. We'll play the High Tide. And now we'll Ideas Unbound and splice again. 23 cards left in her deck. I find another Ideas Unbound. Starting to lag a little bit here. I don't love that. We find another Psychic Puppetry. Let's play Pieces of the Puzzle. We'll take the Stream of Thought and Merchant Scroll. So we also hit a Flood of Recollection, so that could be used to grab back another Ideas Unbound. We'll grab Psychic Puppetry, I suppose. We'll play the Flood of Recollection, get back the Ideas Unbound, and now I'll play the Ideas and we'll triple splice. My bad, cancel. I have all 4 copies of Psychic Puppetry, I just noticed. Alright, so I'll add 10 mana and now we'll splice 4 times. Okay. Hidden Strings and a Deep Analysis. Let's play Pieces of the Puzzle, I suppose. We'll take the High Tide and Hidden Strings. Play the High Tide. Let's make some mana and Hidden Strings. Let's just end this. Okay, now we'll untap these 2 lands. 20 mana floating without even using a Psychic Puppetry. We were just empty before the Hidden Strings. That's 44 mana. And now I will play Psychic Puppetry, target this land, and we'll splice 3 times. Hidden Strings just make so much mana in this deck. 39 mana floating. They have 48 cards in their deck. Alright, that's 63 mana. We'll cast Stream of Thought with Replicate. Clicking a bunch of mana here to target them with the Stream of Thought. Target you! And the Festivities, Clockwork Percussionist. So yeah, they just kept a really bad hand in my opinion. Chain Lightning, Goblin Tomb Raider. So they kept a hand with mono red that just didn't do anything. I'm not trying to make fun of our opponent here. I'm saying this so that way you don't keep hands like this. And then now that that's done resolving, we'll target them with Deep Analysis. And that's the ball game. Alright, next one. We'll want to bring in Dispel just for Pyroblast. And then another thing you can do is bring in Snap instead of Hidden Strings, just to slow them down a little bit. That's 63. In my opinion, the move is you probably are supposed to take out Preordain. And then the question is, would you rather have 1 Preordain or would you rather have the Deep Analysis? So the Deep Analysis would mean that you could flash it back to keep comboing and then target them later with another, or you could have 1 Preordain. I think I'm going to do the second Deep Analysis for Pieces of the Puzzle synergy. And you really do want the ability to flash it back, so that way they don't just go like Lightning Bolt, Galvanic Blast you in the upkeep. Alternatively, you could keep 1 in Hidden Strings. Is 1 Hidden Strings better? It might be. You know what? I'll try this out. Okay. Game 2 on the draw. Very good hand. Okay. So I need to find more lands and then an Arcane spell. Mountain into Clockwork Percussionist. Like, this is a hand that you want to keep. So we'll take 1. I'm at 19. Play the island. Pass. Yeah, and drawing the Deep Analysis sort of confirms my I'd rather have Hidden Strings in the deck than Deep Analysis plan. Alright, Clockwork Percussionist. Ouch. Pieces of the Puzzle. So now we'll play Merchant Scroll, go grab another High Tide. I really need to draw another land. Okay. Well, they're stuck on 1 land. That is a Silver Lining. They're tapping the land for a Goblin Tomb Raider. So this is 4 damage coming in. I'll go to 13. I drew the 3rd Dispel. I don't think I'm going to be able to win this. Discard Dispel. If these were Preordains, I probably would have been in a better spot this game, because my hand was actually very good. I have to hope that they just like try to lightning bolt me and then I can dispel it this turn. Another Goblin Tomb Raider. So this is 6 damage. So next turn they'll have 7 on board. I have to pass. Discard another dispel. Beginning of combat. I'm actually just dead to any lightning bolt. So I'm going to just allow this to put me to 1. Because there's no point in tapping a Goblin Tomb Raider, because I'm still dead to anything that deals 3. I did not draw it. Okay, so my hand did not come together that game. I still think you want Dispel for Pyroblast, so I'm going to submit and just hope to draw better than I did that game. On the play for game 3. This is a hand. We'll keep... I don't know how I feel about this, but if we could draw another High Tide, a land, and a Psychic Puppetry, it's the nuts. But the question is, do we do that? You can also use one of these Ideas Unbound early as like a sort of bad careful study, which might not be a terrible idea. Play Island, pass the turn. Great Furnace, Goblin Tomb Raider, their best open. Better than Goblin Guide. I go to 18. We find land number 3. I'll play Ideas Unbound. Okay, that's not terrible. We'll get rid of Flood of Recollection, Peer Through Depths. Land number 2. They attack, I'll go to 16. And now they're just passing. We found the Psychic Puppetry, that's good. Let's play Merchant Scroll. Looks like they're going to Pyroblast to me. Yep. Pass. Lava Dart, I'm at 15. They have 5 cards still in their hand. Synthesizer. For a Clockwork Percussionist, they play their land, Percussionist, Tomb Raider. So this is 5. Am I pressured to try to win off of 1 High Tide now? Because I'm going to 10 next turn, they attack for 5. Lava Dart deals me 1. Yeah, I have to try to win here. Merchant Scroll. Okay, so I can play High Tide. And then scroll for... No, that doesn't work. I think I'm supposed to try to Ideas Unbound to start. So we have High Tide. Because if I Merchant Scroll now for a High Tide, I can't play it. So I'll play Ideas Unbound, Splice Psychic Puppetry. It'll leave me with 3 mana. Okay, we'll do it. There we go. Perfect ideas. High Tide. And now I will... Actually, it might have been better if the Deep Analysis was a land. I don't know. But we'll Psychic Puppetry. So, High Tide. Cycle the Lorien Revealed for a land. And then this, I have 5. I can Merchant Scroll for a Snap. Go grab Snap. Bounce a Goblin Tomb Raider. So that made a mana. And now we untap. And now I have more mana. So now I can Pieces of the Puzzle. Ideas Unbound. So if I get rid of the Stream of Thought, there will be 1 copy of Flood of Recollection. So the question is, do I want to put myself in that spot? Or do I just get rid of the Peer Through Depths? I think I should take the Peer Through Depths and accept that I have to win with the 1 Flood of Recollection. Yeah, I think that's the move. Alright, so we have 1 Flood of Recollection left. And now I will Ideas Unbound, Splice Psychic Puppetry, Splice Psychic Puppetry. So mana's not the choke point. We'll play another High Tide. Play Snap, Bounce, Goblin Tomb Raider. Untap, untap. I'll Deep Analysis targeting myself. No mana floating. Merchant Scroll and a Dispel. Let's play Ponder. Pieces of the Puzzle. We'll take that. The question is, do I want a Hidden Strings right now? And I think the answer is no, so I'm going to Merchant Scroll. We'll grab a Peer Through Depths. And then we'll Peer Through Depths, splice these Psychic Puppetries. They're paused. They keep on undoing. So, like, they're not F6'd. So I'm worried that they have, like, a Fairy Macabre. Because I can't beat a Fairy Macabre here. We'll play Pieces of the Puzzle. I guess they have a Lava Dart. We'll take Ponder and Snap. Play the Ponder. Keep this. We'll snap the Clockwork Percussionist. So now my 4th snap does nothing. But I did get value out of 3 snaps this game. Oh, they can Lava Dart their own Percussionist. I'll dispel that. Okay, now I'll untap. So that's why they did it. And now we'll play Lorien Revealed. 2 lands and a Peer Through Depths. We'll play Ponder. 17 cards left. I think we're supposed to keep this. Play Peer Through Depths. Splice. Splice. Take Pieces, Ponder. Not a whole lot of cards left. Peer Through Depths. There's the Flood of Recollection. Okay. And now we'll pieces of the puzzle. So the question is, can I get up to enough mana to win this game? They're paused here. Like I said, if they have a Fairy Macabre, I can't win. I think that's the only card I lose to. Alright, so Hidden Strings and Alluring Revealed are what we find here. We'll take those. Alright, there's 9 cards left in the deck. We'll play another Pieces of the Puzzle. We know that there's another Psychic Puppetry somewhere in the bottom. My opponent is doing that thing where they're a little salty, so they're letting the clock run down and then doing something like every 5 minutes before they would time out. So I'm not even sure if I have the win, but they're so convinced that I do, and now they're kind of being a child about it. So we'll see how long I'm here for. Obviously, a lot of this is going to be edited out. I'm not going to have you sit here with me while the opponent kicks and screams. All right, our piece of the puzzle is finally resolved. I'll take Psychic Puppetry and Ponder. Flood of Recollection, targeting Stream of Thought. Okay, and now I will play Hidden Strings. Tap a bunch of mana. We'll play Psychic Puppetry, splice other copies of Psychic Puppetry. I really don't know if I have enough mana to win here. I hope I do. And now we'll Psychic Puppetry again. Splice. 25 mana. Psychic Puppetry. Okay, so that's 28. 48 mana. So I'm actually short here. So I can Stream of Thought, replicate a bunch. But if I had one more mana, I think we would have it, but I'm short by 1. So I'd like to replicate 12 times, but I don't think I can. Actually, I only need 11. Am I wrong? No, I am wrong. I think I have exactly... I have 1 extra mana at the end. Yeah, I'm going to have 1 spare mana at the end. Yeah, this was a nail-biter. So there was a choke point here that a second Stream of Thought would have solved, which is that you wouldn't have to worry about the amount of mana at the end, I will admit. That said, I still think second Stream of Thought kind of stinks. And now we'll target them with Deep Analysis. So the reason that it was a choke point this game is that I binned a bunch of my high tides early, and then we used pieces of the puzzle to go over Psychic Puppetries. So it was some decisions I had early. That said, we never needed it. Like, that's the thing. Even when I burned a bunch of my resources, I never needed Stream of Thought. So we still got there. And now we're 3-0. 2 matches left. If you're still watching, make sure to give this video a like, comment, and subscribe. While you're near the description, here's a reminder to use our affiliate links if you're going to make a purchase from Amazon, Card Hoarder, or TCG Player. Just above those affiliate links, you'll find our social channels. Make sure to join those to connect with us. Let's try to get another win in the 4th match. We're on the play. Yep, this is a keep. Also, another great hand for showing why you should play Ponder over Brainstorm. Here, I can have something to do on the first turn. You don't really want to main phase a turn 1 Brainstorm. So here, Ponder looks at 4 cards, digging deeper to find another land, another High Tide, or Psychic Puppetry. We'll play the island, Ponder. Psychic Puppetry. I think we'll keep this. So now the choke point is actually lands, because the Merchant Scroll next turn is going to grab a High Tide. So it looks like we're facing Cawgates. Play the island, and let's Merchant Scroll for another High Tide. Pass the turn. They play a gate, and the Modern Age discarding a Sacred Cat. We find the land. So I could try to jam a turn 3 right now. Do I want to is the question. They're tapped out, they have no access to counterspells. The question is, am I going to fizzle? So I can play my land. I could start playing High Tide with 1 mana floating. I think I'm going to go for it. Like, we're facing a blue deck. They don't have counterspell online right now. So I'm going to try to make it work. Splice the Psychic Puppetry, floating 1. Ooh, this is an interesting question. Do you take the other Psychic Puppetry to start going up on mana, or do you take the Pier? I think mana is the choke point this game. So right now, I want to take the Psychic Puppetry. And now we'll Peer through Depths. And this just unlocks mana for the rest of the game, so action spells off this are all good. And I did not hit a whole lot, so do I want to go all in on this Ponder? We're going to untap and have 6 mana. So if I take the Lorien Revealed, we're in trouble. If I take Hidden Strings, I could Ponder into another Lorien Revealed and be fine. Or I could take another Ponder. I think another Ponder is probably the move. So now we'll play the Ponder. Keep the... Oh my god, that was so good. So now we'll play Ideas Unbound, splice, splice, untap, untap. And now I can merchant scroll for another peer through depths. And now we'll play the peer, take the Ideas Unbound. We're cruising. Ideas Unbound, splice, another puppetry, okay. So we need more arcane spells for that to be useful. Play pieces of the puzzle. Ideas Unbound and Flood of Recollection. We are getting rid of the 4th copy of Psychic Puppetry there. And now all Ideas Unbound we can splice 3 times. And it's worth noting the 4th copy of Psychic Puppetry isn't even good when I only have 3 lands because you can't stack the untaps. You don't have priority to do so. I'll play Flood of Recollection, get back Ideas Unbound. Okay, and now we'll splice a bunch again. I need to move my Psychic Puppetries to be closer. This is a little annoying. Alright, I'm going to move them to the middle of the screen. More Hidden Strings. 27 cards left. Let's play Preordained. Another Hidden Strings. I don't think mana's the choke point at this point, so I'm going to put it on the bottom. We draw another island. We'll play the Ponder. Beautiful. This is perfect. We will take the Ideas Unbound. And now we'll splice 3 times. Move the land to the front. We drew another Flood of Recollection, so I think we've got it from here. I just need to keep on making mana and then find the stream. So we'll play Peer Through Depths, splice 3 times. And that's the Stream of Thought, so we'll take that. I'll draw 3 using Lorien Revealed. 18 cards left in deck. So I think we have everything we need to win. So let's just finish out the game. So I have 11 mana floating. Play another Hidden Strings. They have 50 cards. 21. Maybe I'm being a little greedy here. Alright, so I'm going to Stream of Thought now. And I'm going to take a hybrid approach where I'm going to put some arcane spells back in our deck. And then I'll Flood of Recollection back to Stream of Thought. We'll put Ideas Unbound, Ideas Unbound, Ideas Unbound, Peer Through Depths, Peer Through Depths, Peer Through Depths, High Tide, High Tide, Ideas Unbound, Pieces of the Puzzle, Hidden Strings, and nothing back on that one. Okay, and now let's Lorien Revealed, tap the island, play High Tide, we'll play Hidden Strings now. Untap, untap. So now they all tap for 4. They have 34 cards left in their deck. We'll play Ideas Unbound, splice 3 times. Another Ideas Unbound, we'll play that. Flood of Recollection, we'll get back the Stream of Thought. Play the other High Tide. Play Hidden Strings. How much mana is this? 30? Alright, so we can just end this. We'll play Psychic Puppetry to untap our lands. 26 mana. That's 41. Now I'll play Stream of Thought again. Target you. 8 copies. Raven Charms. That makes sense. So I have to keep in mind about the Raven Charm. And then we will Deep Analysis targeting them. Okay, so we win game number 1. Took about 8 minutes, roughly. We'll bring in Dispel. Bring in the Giga Drowse. Take out the Deep Analysis. So another thing that I think we could try is we're in a matchup where speed isn't necessarily king. What if we board out Hidden Strings? And just say, I'll be a little bit slower but more consistent by leaving in Preordain? Because the Coggates deck is very slow, unlike a deck like Fairies. So I think I'm down to try this. Good hand. Keep. They play a turn 1 gate. We'll play Island and Ponder. This looks good to me. Keep. And we'll pass. So next turn we can play Merchant Scroll for High Tide, assuming that it resolves. They play a land. The Modern Age. Gets rid of Sacred Cat. Well, they did that game 2 and then they lost the game. Unfortunately, I'll be giving them a turn this game. So we'll play the Merchant Scroll, grab High Tide, pass. They get rid of Essence Scatter. Yeah, I suppose I could have Archaeomancer in my deck. They play Squadron Hawk. They grab 3 more copies of Squadron Hawk. I draw land number 4. That's certainly welcome. Let's play Preordain. Another Puppetry and Merchant Scroll. I like both of these. I'll try to play the Merchant Scroll, and if it gets countered, I have another Psychic Puppetry. And if it resolves, I get another High Tide. And it does resolve. Pass the turn. The Modern Age transforms. They play Brainstorm. And a gate. Sure. I'll play my land, pass the turn. So on the end step, I'm going to attempt to Psychic Puppetry and tap their basic island. We'll take a hit for 3. Sure, I got a 16. We'll play Peer Through Depths, splicing the Psychic Puppetry, tapping the island. And if they counterspell it, I don't have to go off. I mean, I don't have to go off anyway. I could just try to play pieces of the puzzle. And if they counterspell this, I'd be back up to 7. They play Dispel. Sure. Blood of Recollection. Well, I guess I'm back up to 7 with my draw step anyway, but they have 7 cards. Let's try pieces of the puzzle. That eats a counterspell. I'm good with that. Pass the turn. They play Brainstorm, tapping the island. I like to see that. They play another gate. Come on, pump up your creature. Let's go. Try to put the clock on me. Are you doing it? Ah, Squadron Hawk. So they still have a blue mana open for like a Dispel. So they've already used 1 Dispel this game. Giga Drowse. So I could tap their 1 land and then try to win, or I can just pass and then be in the same spot next turn. So if I tap their land with Giga Drowse, High Tide, floating 1. So then this land taps for 3, but then what am I going to do? I'm actually short of mana. I'm going to pass. They play another land. This one filters for a blue. So I would like them to use the Basilisk Gate this turn, but I'll see if they do. And they do. So that means that my Giga Drowse is more likely to be effective. So this is 8 damage coming in. I'll go to 5. End step, we'll play the Giga Drowse. Okay. They have 7 cards in their hand. 3 mana. They just tapped all their lands for mana. Okay. Is this a Thraben Charm? It is. So they're going to exile my graveyard. So it looks like I have the go-ahead to try to win. We draw into Preordain. High Tide. High Tide. So my land's tap for 3. I'll play Preordain. I don't want either of these. Peer Through Depths is perfect. So we'll play the Peer Through Depths, splicing Psychic Puppetry. I hit another Puppetry, but I also hit a High Tide. I think the High Tide is better here. So now I'll tap the High Tide. I can play Flood of Recollection, get back the Peer Through Depths, play the Peer Through Depths, and now each land tap makes 4, so I'm going +1 mana. We'll take another Peer Through Depths, play the Peer Through Depths, so now I'm +2 mana at the moment. Take the Ideas Unbound. Ideas Unbound puts me +3, so that's good to see when I have pieces of the puzzle. Into triple action spell. I'm sorry, triple protection spell. Not really what I wanted there. We'll take the Psychic Puppetry and Ideas Unbound. So now I can start to make more mana. So we'll play the Ideas into double Lure and Reveal, then a Ponder. Let's play pieces of the puzzle. Take Flood of Recollection, Ponder. Play the Ponder. Shuffle that. We drew the land for turn. Okay. We'll tap the land. We'll play the Flood of Recollection. Let's get back High Tide. Play the High Tide. Play Ponder. Well, hold on. Do I have 4 Peer Through Depths? I believe there's 1 Peer left in the deck, so I'll keep the Merchant Scroll. Play the Scroll. I could also just grab the Psychic Puppetry. Is that better? So I can play the Peer Splicing once. No, it's probably better to take the Peer Through Depths here, because I'm not burning a Puppetry for later. Alright, so I'll take the Psychic Puppetry now. And now I'm forced to cast Psychic Puppetry and Splice a few times. I'm worried that I'm not going to have enough mana to win this at the moment, because I boarded out the Hidden Strings. Well, Hardcast Azorius Revealed. Wonder if that was a mistake on my part, boarding out the Hidden Strings. So now I can play Ideas Unbound, Splice twice. Actually, hold on. Should I preordain first, looking for another High Tide or Psychic Puppetry? Maybe. Blood of Recollection. We'll get that. Get back the Psychic Puppetry. And now all Ideas. 3 mana floating, 11 cards left in deck. Another Ideas Unbound. Splice 3 times. Down to 9 minutes on clock. Trying to rearrange my hand so splicing is a little easier. There's the 4th Puppetry. Merchant Scroll. So I'm almost out of gas here. We'll play the Merchant Scroll. I don't even know what he can get at this point. Dispel or a High Tide. Okay, I guess we're getting High Tide. We'll play the High Tide. Tap the Lorien Revealed. Tap the island to play Lorien Revealed. We hit the stream and pieces. So how much mana can we make? That's the question. 25. I believe that's enough to win. So it turns out that I was nervous about Hidden Strings, but I had enough mana the whole time if I just would have counted. So now we'll untap with the Psychic Puppetry. Tap 2. We'll Puppetry again. Okay, now I guess I'll just tap all these. How much is that? 67? We have more than enough. They have 38 cards in their deck. We'll do 11 for good measure, just because I can. I have more than enough mana. Okay. Target you. Okay, so at this point they are decked. I boarded out the deep analysis, so I will have to go to cleanup and then manually click on all the cards I have to discard. This is, for time constraints, this is part of the reason I like to deep analysis, other than the fact that they can't kill me in their upkeep. But this takes more time than it needs to. So now they go to their turn and they lose. So we win the match. We're 4-0, one match away from a trophy with pieces of the puzzle in Pauper. I love it. Let's go get it. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? For the trophy in match number 5. Let's go. I hope I get it. So we have a 1-lander. Well, I guess we have the Lorien revealed. So we have a 2-lander where we just need High Tide. I'm going to keep. Play the island, pass. So for those of you that don't know, I use Invasion Basics for everything. Invasion was my first Magic the Gathering set. I have tons and tons and tons of the same art for all of my basics. Like, I think I have like 60 Japanese foil islands, like 50 of them just Japanese. I get all of my basics signed. And that's just for the islands. I have the same numbers for plains, forests, etc. I don't know why I'm sharing this. It's just I love my mana bases, I guess. We'll cycle the Lorien reveal, go grab land number 3, pass the turn. Well, looks like we have a tough matchup for the trophy in mono red. And now they'll swing for 1. I go to 18. Thermo Alchemist. Let's play pieces of the puzzle. Hidden Strings and Merchant Scroll. We did not find High Tide, which is problematic. Pass the turn. The Thermo Alchemist could kill me very quickly. Land number 3, they have 5 cards. They swing. If I draw a land, could I try to win? I don't think so. They play Grab the Prize, discarding Lava Dart. So now I go to 13, and they still have 5 cards in hand. I don't think I'm getting another turn if I pass. I go to 12. So I drew the land. So I can tap 2 lands to Merchant Scroll for High Tide. And then play High Tide with 1 mana floating. I could then Hidden Strings. And then I guess I could Peer Through Depths, double Splice Psychic Puppetry. Maybe I can try to win. It might be a little risky, but I don't think I'm getting to untap again. So we'll play High Tide. Also, Hidden Strings just really showing how valuable it is again. Okay, so now we have 4 mana. And I'll Peer Through Depths, Splice Psychic Puppetries. I could Flood of Recollection back High Tide, but that takes a lot of mana. I wonder if it's supposed to be Hidden Strings here. I'm going to take Hidden Strings. And then I'll make 4 mana and we'll Ideas Unbound, double Splice again. Yikes, that was bad. That was real bad. Preordain. I found a Peer Through Depths, but I can only splice once. Well, I guess I could Hidden Strings, so maybe I'll do that. This is so risky. Also, we've seen a lot of cards to not find another High Tide. Peer Through Depths, Splice, Splice. We'll take Ideas Unbound. And then we'll Ideas Unbound, double Splice. No way. Come on. Killing me, Smalls. There was a lot of cards. Like, we've drawn half our deck, but we've even put a bunch of cards on the bottom. Ugh, not like this. So, is there a world in which this Lorien revealed wins? I mean, it has to, right? So we'll Splice the Psychic Puppetry. No, there's no way. I can't do it. It doesn't... I can draw 3, but then I don't have the mana to win. So our deck just didn't get the job done. Unfortunate. Land, Ideas, Ponder. I feel like that one got away from me. We'll bring in Dispel and Snaps. Board out the Hidden Strings. Get rid of Preordain. So that's 59. Bring back in 1 Hidden Strings. Let's try this. The nice thing about the Alchemist build is that you can buy time using the Snap. So that way you're not forced to try to win so quickly. Sure, we'll keep. Play the island, pass. Mountain, Voldaren Epicure. I will cycle, grab an island. Okay. I go to 19. Another snap. We'll play Merchant Scroll, go grab a High Tide. Pass the turn. Faithless Looting. Interesting. They missed their land. We find Ponder. Let's play the Ponder. Shuffle this. Merchant Scroll, okay. We'll play the Merchant Scroll, and I'll grab a Psychic Puppetry. Pass the turn, because I have 2 snaps in hand, so I can use those as untap effects for a little bit with the Tide. They found their land. There's the Alchemist. Okay, so now we'll take 1 here. Another Psychic Puppetry. So do I have enough resources to win? I don't know. This feels like it probably should. We'll play High Tide. We'll snap the Voldaren Epicure. Untap, untap. Ideas Unbound, Splice, Psychic Puppetry, Splice, Psychic Puppetry. There we go. Okay, so now I can play another High Tide. We'll snap the Alchemist. Untap, untap. Ideas Unbound. 2 islands and a High Tide. Okay, so we'll play High Tide. Let's play Pieces of the Puzzle. Ideas Unbound, Merchant Scroll. We're getting rid of 1 Puppetry, but I think that's okay. Let's play the Merchant Scroll. I'm going to go grab a Peer Through Depths. And then we'll Ideas Unbound, Splice, Psychic Puppetry. Drew the Hidden Strings. Peer Through Depths. Let's Splice. I don't think we're ready for this Stream of Thought, so I'm going to take the Pieces of the Puzzle. And then we'll Peer Through Depths again. Take the Psychic Puppetry. So now we have all 3 Puppetries, because the 4th one is in the graveyard. We'll play Pieces of the Puzzle. Take Pieces of the Puzzle and Ponder. Play another Pieces of the Puzzle. Take High Tide and Pieces. The snap does nothing, so I don't think there's a good reason to take it. We'll play the Ponder, or play the High Tide. Play the Pieces of the Puzzle. I think Ideas Peer are better than Flood of Recollection. So now I'll play Ideas Unbound. We'll triple Splice. It was 2 lands and a Deep Analysis by the looks of it. 10 mana floating. Peer Through Depths. Triple Splice. We'll take the Stream of Thought. I do need that in order to win. Oh, I have another Peer Through Depths in my hand this whole time? Whoops. Probably should have played that a little sooner, but it's okay. Just going through the motions. 10 cards left. We'll take, I don't think it matters, Ponder. Alright, 30 mana floating. Hidden Strings. They have 50 cards. Stream of Thought. Target you. 12 copies. Okay, so if I didn't fizzle in game 1, we'd be in a much better spot. But now I have to win game 3 on the draw versus Mono Red. And because they're not conceding, I can get a good look at what their deck looks like here. Ooh, now they paused. Maybe they used F8 because I milled over a Lava Dart and now there's something they could do and now they're paused. So I think they must have hit like F8, which is a key I never personally use, but I think that they might have done it here. Red Elemental Blast. I'm not seeing any Pyroblast yet, so they might not have it. And they're choosing to show me their entire deck here. They're just like, yeah, I'll let you click through. I mean, I'm good for seeing your whole deck. It's definitely pinger based. Like they have 4 Alchemist and what's the other one called? Kessig Flame Breathers. And now I'll target you with Deep Analysis. So maybe this is just a thought. If they are so pinger focused, they have less creatures. Do I want all 4 snaps? It buys me a lot of time, which I like. Like on the draw, snap on turn 2 into play something else that sets me up, buys me time. But the question is, do I want all 4? Because they have less creatures for me to bounce. So I think I'm going to bring in another Hidden Strings and we'll get rid of 1 snap maybe. I could also take out maybe 1 Dispel for another Hidden Strings, but then Pyroblast becomes better against me, or Red Elemental Blast. Dispel also counters Lightning Bolt or something. I'm going to try this. For all the marbles. Game 3, match 5, we're on the draw. I can't but wonder if, like, do I even want Snap? Or do I want, like, 1 Snap? Because they only have the pingers plus Voldaren Epic here, so I think Hidden Strings might even be better against this build. And they can Lava Dart their own Voldaren Epic here, too. Of course, I open up Stream of Thought. Okay. So there's no High Tide. We do have Snap and Psychic Puppetry. So we need High Tide plus an Arcane spell. They kept 7. Am I crazy if I keep this? This Stream of Thought is basically a mulligan. I'll take a real mulligan. This is not bad. We'll get rid of Lorien Revealed. They Lava Dart me, so no turn 1 creature. Psychic Puppetry is a good draw, so we need to find High Tide plus Arcane spells. Land number 2. Grab the prize, so no creature. I go to 17. Land number 4. I'll play my land and pass. Next turn, I'm planning on playing Pieces of the Puzzle. 2 mana. Another grab the prize, discarding Highway Robbery. They play a land. Chain Lightning. So I go to 12. Another Pieces of the Puzzle. I really need High Tides here. Pieces. No High Tides. I think it's Ideas plus Hidden Strings. In a tough spot. Pass the turn. Land number 4. They have 4 cards in their hand. And it looks like they're going to pass. We find land number 5. I think I'm going to play Pieces of the Puzzle. They let it go. We find High Tide. High Tide and Peer Through Depths. Okay. So I'm going to go to cleanup. Let's see if they play anything on my end step. If they play a spell that I can dispel, I'm going to do it. Now they have 3 cards in their hand. They Red Elemental Blast. So that was a win for me. As long as I get another turn. I'm at 9 and they have 2 cards. Do I get another turn? The Lava Dart, I'm at 8. They have double Dart. So if they have 6 points of damage in hand, I'm dead. Fire Blast. No! They had double Fire Blast. We did not get the 5-0. They had it all. Bummer. Yeah, that hurts. We were so close to the trophy. I don't think I have any regrets. I mean, I needed to draw slightly better in that 5th match, and it didn't happen. I really like the deck list. I'm glad that I sided out Snaps game 3, because I think my opponent sideboarded out their creatures. That's my hunch. Wow. That was a nail biter. No changes. I would honestly run this deck list straight back. I thought it was very good. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, keep storming. What you should do is like, comment, and subscribe, because there's no better way to support us. And if you enjoyed this video, head over to moxfield.com and follow us there. It's truly the best deck website on the internet. We update all of our decks there regularly with the latest and greatest technology, so you're always up to date. Once again, go check out Moxfield, and thank you for watching.